Welcome to the Space Limited Accomplishments Interval. I'm Lance Ash, and I am joined in the mobile recording studio, otherwise known as our car, by my wife Bonnie.
Hello.
And we're making a change. Going to be recording the show on the first day of the week rather than the last, because by the last day of the week, Bonnie and I will be completely talked out. This way, we'll have more to talk about because we can talk about what happened over the weekend. So, let's see. Let's see what happened over the weekend, or just we're just going to talk in general, really. But this, But I will say, over this weekend, I finished a painting, and Bonnie surprised me by ordering Chinese food. Our daughter came over and had a family meal, right, with Bonnie and me and our son and our daughter all together. Our son still lives with us, but our daughter moved out a couple months ago. And I don't want to get, I don't know, but I think the big news, hold on.
I thought that I had surprised you by recognizing the person in the painting.
Oh, that's right, yeah. The painting was a composite of two ideas. There's an architect that I like a lot named Massimo Iosagini. And then there's a noise collective called Schimpfluchgruppe, which is sort of European-based noise artists. All four of them, or however many are actually in the group, have individual projects and so forth. And I put both those ideas into the same painting. And so
I recognized Iosagini,
yep.
And I mistook the Noise Collective for a bunch of punk rockers instead.
Right. I think there's an argument to be made that modern day noise musicians owe a great deal of their lineage to punk rock. I'm not a big fan of punk rock, but I am a big fan of noise music when it's done correctly. When it's done, when the approach to it is more like music concrete. I think the big news this weekend was Trump pardoning Roger Stone.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Which was that was the final red flag, folks. That was the
blatant
big
corruption. If you haven't seen it before, you saw it then.
Yeah, I don't. What more is there to say? What amazes me is when you read the comments accompanying news stories to stories like this, people won't even make a legitimate argument as to, they'll just say something like, well, according to the Constitution, the President of the United States clearly has the power to pardon anyone he wants, or, grant clemency to anyone he wants. That's not the point. That's not the point. Okay. Well, anyway, let's see. We can talk in general for a while.
I made a cake for you today.
Bonnie made a pound cake.
Lemon and poppy seed.
And
I have a lemon glaze, and I also made a blueberry and lemon syrup to go with it as well. It's delicious. You haven't tried it yet, but it's delicious. You can ask your son.
I've been whining about no cookies in the house for a while, because I like something sweet after I eat, but I don't like candy.
Yeah, but you eat 4 bags of cookies at a time, or rather, a week.
Well,
it's true. You're the reason we keep real milk in the house, so you can have it to go with your cookies.
Right. I like to dip my oatmeal cookies in milk. Since I moved painting operations from the old studio into what we call the playroom, which is really the TV watching room we used to be anyway, I've become more and more reluctant to go back to the studio to work out because that's where all my exercise equipment is at and everything. So
Why are you reluctant to go over there and exercise alone? What happened, Lance?
well, no, that's not the reason I'm reluctant. It's because it's creepy to go over there.
165 pounds falling on your chest with no one to spot you. I'd say that's a good reason not to go over there alone.
Anyway, what I did was I set up the old step box. I think it's an official Jane Fonda step box. And I just set that up in the playroom so I can do aerobics at home. And I did aerobics more than I have in a long time. So that was something new over the weekend. Bonnie watched a Jacques Pepin video. Haven't seen him in years. I remember back when he had dark hair.
Oh, it was his potato salad.
Yeah, he made potato salad, but he didn't put any real onions in it.
Didn't use mayonnaise, did he?
Yeah, he used mayonnaise.
He did?
Yeah.
He didn't put onion. He put chives in it. He didn't put.
Yeah, chives, but he didn't use. I like mine with real onions in it, chunks of onion.
He didn't put boiled eggs in his either.
He didn't put eggs in it?
No, he didn't.
I guess he figured it was mayonnaise and that counted as egg. But
It looked really good. Oh, he used a lot more vinegar in his sauce too.
I remember his show where he had his daughter cooking with him. I'll tell you something else I remember. When I was a kid, I was contemptuous of vegetarians. And there used to be this Chinese cooking show on PBS. It was a man, there was a Chinese guy, and I don't know if he was always assisted by his children or not, but on this particular episode he was, and usually his recipes were vegetarian. But anyway, I remember the little kid going, can we put some meat in it? Can we put some meat in it? And he's like, well, yes, just this one time. Okay, yeah, I guess we're going to, later on in the show. And I remember as a kid going, yeah, show him, we want meat.
And now everything we get from Chinese restaurants or anywhere is vegetarian.
Yeah,
What do you think about the egg rolls?
They were good.
I thought they were excellent.
Yeah, they're good egg rolls, yeah. But
everybody had two, and then I gave you my other one.
Yeah.
My second one.
Yeah, but the thing is that I have to have them with the mustard.
I gave you two things.
I know.
With mustard with it.
Just egg rolls by themselves are not that great. I have to have the mustard. But anyway, we're vegetarians. I've been a vegetarian ever since I quit drinking the first time, which was almost a whole year before Bonnie and I met.
Again.
But
before we met again.
Right. Bonnie and I met in high school.
Harry met Sally.
And then when we were both
dated a friend of mine.
right, and then when we were both sort of at a
we met again.
Right.
And I was friends with your next door neighbor, and you were dating a very hot Indian chick.
Did you say buttery?
I was friends with your neighbor.
I was dating a buttery hot. Did you say buttery?
Very hot.
Oh, very hot. They should have said buttery hot.
Indian chick.
I
don't know where you got buttery from.
But anyway, but the funny thing is, I fell off the wagon and started drinking again, back and forth, before I finally quit again. But I stayed a vegetarian the whole time.
Yeah.
So I've been a vegetarian longer than I've been.
Tell me about your last meat meal.
My last meat meal? Oh, it was
Your mother's cooking.
She made this casserole with hamburger meat and wax beans, and I was going through horrible hangover and withdrawals, and I thought I was going to vomit.
Was it as bad as your mother's vinegar chicken? Or she'd boil?
Oh, it was that was way better than that wax bean crap.
Oh.
Wax beans are one of the very few vegetables that I cannot stomach.
I don't have anybody.
They're nasty.
You remember when we used to get snow peas all the time and we'd do our own stir fry?
Yeah, we used to get sugar snaps and snow peas. Yeah. Oh
peas,
God, that was good. And
mushrooms,
bean sprouts or
yeah,
bamboo shoots or
and,
whatever.
What are the little chestnuts? Water chestnuts?
Yeah. We got Jerusalem artichokes one time, which are basically the roots of sunflower.
Sunflowers, tubers. Yeah.
And first time I ever had them, I just put them in a bowl with some water and microwaved them, and they were really bizarre tasting.
Oh, I think you're right.
Hey, there's that weird chick.
Oh, yeah. She's right up there with Spot the German.
Yeah. We've lived in Athens so long, we know the street people. Well, by sight anyway.
Have names. And she's just that weird chick. Then there's that German guy.
There's this guy who looks like a refugee from Hitler Youth, who walks from his apartment about a whole mile down to the UGA library to read
German books, I think.
Well, I don't know what he reads. But he reads all day long at the university library. But now the university library is closed because of COVID, so I don't know what he does.
He's been walking back and forth to the homeless thing on North Avenue, that mental health center.
For real? Are you just kidding?
No, I'm serious. I've seen him on North Avenue. It's all kinds of sad. He keeps getting thinner and thinner by the day.
He always walks without a shirt on, so he's got a tan, but it's wrinkly old man tan.
You know, the kids came up with the phrase "Spot the German."
Oh, yeah?
For some reason, we all had the impression that he was a German for some reason.
Well, he has blonde hair and glasses.
He just has that Kraftwerk look, I guess.
No.
Yeah.
Nobody in Kraftwerk had blonde hair.
No. I mean that thin and tall wiriness. But the kids got it from Spot the Loony from Monty Python, and so they would say German every time we'd see him when we were driving by. And so it became a game. Spot the German based on Spot the Loony.
Okay, what we're going to have to do from now on is keep an eye on when we start it, because we're going to make these episodes about 20 minutes. That's the goal.
5:35.
I know. We got we're at the 12 and a half minute mark right now. But that was a weird applique on that car. Decal. I've lived in this town so long that when we drive along, I'll always go, oh, that used to be this, and that used to be that. I remember when that building was there, and they tore that down, and blah, blah, blah.
You even remember eating at some of these places, like the place that was the Kentucky Fried Chicken on the corner back there.
Yeah, back behind us is a corner, and my father and grandfather ran a service station there, and next to that, the building is next to where that service station was. Now it's an auto title loan place, or payday lender loan, or whatever. But it used to be a Kentucky Fried Chicken, and this is back when Kentucky Fried Chicken didn't sell biscuits; they sold rolls. That's how far back that was. And they had pre-packaged, what would you call them? They were desserts. They weren't ice cream, but they had whipped cream on top.
Like lemon pudding or something?
It was like what's a parfait?
I don't know if that's it or not, but close enough. We'll just call it a parfait.
Yeah. Anyway. But for those of you who don't know, we live right on the outskirts of Athens, Georgia. And
You need to say where.
right. We won't tell you exactly where, because you'll track us down and plant a Trump flag in our front yard. But anyway, so basically, I've lived in Athens my whole life. Both of us have. And Athens is... many years ago, I went to see Henry Rollins speak, and he said he always enjoyed going to Athens because it was like an oasis of art in the middle of this wasteland of Georgia, and he's right. There's parts of Atlanta that are okay. There's parts here and there that are okay all over the place, but...
Yeah, like Savannah.
Yeah. Bonnie has complained for years that I won't take her to Savannah for a trip, but I don't remember Savannah being that great. If you're, want to stay drunk all the time, I'm sure it's fine, or eat seafood, but I don't do those two things anymore. But
you don't remember much about Savannah, do you?
the coastline of Georgia is a sticky, humid, insect-infested wasteland.
Mosquito Coast.
Right.
That coast.
That was a bad movie.
Mosquito Coast, yeah.
I just like within the last 24 hours, I read some commentary and they referred to it. And
I think it was the guy from Athens that did the commentary about Kemp's stupidity in The Guardian this week.
might have been, but he talked about the movie.
By the way, Clay knows him.
Oh, the guy?
Yeah, and he said the guy he knows actually has a twin. His name is Tigger.
Well, anyway, he talked about the movie with fond remembrance, and I just remember it being horrible.
It's an example of absurd behavior in the face of
It did have.
all truth, and he was comparing Kemp's
I mean, think about who was in that movie.
stupid relationship.
Harrison
Mirren
Ford,
was his wife.
Helen Mirren,
Joaquin
Martha
Phoenix.
Plimpton. No, River Phoenix.
River Phoenix.
And Martha Plimpton. With that cast, you'd think it'd be better, but it was really just boring. I saw that with my parents when they were still together.
They were together for a long time. They were together for 42 years.
I think my dad must have seen a commercial for it and thought it was going to be wonderful. And
Boy, was he wrong.
that's back when Martha Plimpton was just so
Really?
cute, and she was like,
We're going to go off the Martha Plimpton
well,
thing again, aren't we?
back in the 80s, she was an ideal girlfriend type for, guys my age. I don't know.
You wouldn't do the Ali Sheedy types, would you?
Bonnie looked like Ali Sheedy at that time. And she was weird.
What?
Yeah,
That was not weird.
No, Ali Sheedy was weird.
No, just depended on the role.
She was, what?
Depended on the role.
I only saw her in one or two movies.
Okay, that
She
stupid
disappeared.
War Games thing. Matthew.
Oh, I never saw War Games.
See, yeah. And then Breakfast Club and St. Elmo's Fire.
Never saw
And,
never saw St. Elmo's Fire
What
either.
was that little robot thing?
Short Circuit?
Short Circuit.
She was in that?
Yeah. She was absolutely adorable in it. See, she was like Meg Ryan adorable in that.
I saw part of Short Circuit. My cousin thought it was so funny. I don't know why.
It was cute. It was adorable. She was cute and adorable. Oh, but Martha Plimpton.
I don't know. And just something about those bug eyes of hers. We don't
The
know.
thyroid deficiency.
Is that a bug crawling on the window?
I don't know. Let's see.
No, don't do that. That doesn't work. And no, it's still there. Oh, you let warm air in. Blah.
Yeah. Sauna.
Okay, we got
It's
one.
finally gotten below at 90 degrees. Yay.
Yeah, last year our heat pump conked out, and we had to endure 3 or 4 or 5 days. I thought it was more like August.
It was July.
Anyway,
You get service.
Anyway, we had to endure 3 or 4 days with no air conditioning, and it was horrible. I had to sleep with no sheets on the bed, with my back facing the fan.
I hate to sleep with the windows open too. It's creepy.
Yeah, you don't want to. I don't know how people did it 100 years ago.
Nor do I.
As Andy Rooney said, people who don't like air conditioning are crazy. Oh, but it was a good weekend. I had a 3-day weekend. And what are you pointing at?
20 minutes. What's your time?
We have 30 seconds here.
Oh, okay. Well, good.
Well, we're going to wrap it up. So this is going to be the tenor of these episodes from now on. It's just rambling conversation, and if you listen to them over the course of several episodes, you'll probably get the general idea.
That was
So
crazy.
that's about it. So thank you very much for listening.